This is the story about how I got my first camera. This kid came in one day, and he was standing in the back near the paperbacks, and he was stuffing skin magazines up his shirt. Now, I didn't notice him at first because it was crowded around the counter, but once I noticed what he was doing, I started to shout. He took off like a jackrabbit. I chased him for a couple blocks, but then I stopped. He dropped something along the way. Turned out to be his wallet. Now, there wasn't any money inside, but his driver's license was there, along with 3, maybe 4 snapshots. Roger Goodwin. That was his name. One of the pictures I remember was with him and what I guess was his mom. Another of him holding a trophy and smiling like he just won the Irish sweepstakes. Now, I guess I could have turned him in because I had his driver's license with his name and address on it, but I don't know, I just didn't have the heart. He's just some poor kid from Brooklyn without much going for him, and who cares about a couple of porn magazines anyway? So I didn't do anything about it, and I held on to the wallet, and I meant to mail it back, but I never got around to it. And the wallet just sat on my counter. And then Christmas rolls around, and I find myself with nothing to do. And I notice the wallet sitting there, and I think to myself, you know, why not? Why not do something nice for once? So I put on my coat, and I go out to return the wallet. The address was somewhere in Borum Hills, somewhere in the projects, and I remember it was freezing out that day, and I kept getting lost because all the buildings look alike. But I finally found the right building, and I found the right door. I walk up, and I knock on it. Nothing. Wait a couple of seconds longer, and just as I'm about to leave, wait. And after a minute, I hear some footsteps slowly coming towards the door. And finally, I hear this old voice says, "Who is it?" I say, "I'm here to return Roger Goodwin's wallet." And she undoes about 15 locks and opens up the door. Now, this lady has got to be 80, maybe even 90 years old, and the first thing I notice about her is that she's blind. "Oh, Roger," she says, "I knew you wouldn't forget your granny on Christmas." And she opens up her arms like she wants to hug me. And before I even knew what was happening, I could hear the words coming out of my mouth. "That's right, Granny. It's me, Roger. And I came to see you on Christmas." And I hug her. So there we are, standing up out in front of her apartment. She's hugging me, I'm hugging her back. I mean, she was old and dotty, but she knew I wasn't her grandson. But it made her happy to pretend. So we go inside, and we end up spending the whole day together. I told her that I had found a good job, that I was about to get married, that I had finished school. I told her 100 different lies, and she made believe that she believed every single one of them. "That's good, Roger. I always knew things would turn out for you." Well, after a while, we started getting hungry, but there was no food in the house. So I went down to the corner market, and I got a whole bunch of stuff. I got a pre-cooked chicken, a bucket of potato salad, some soup, a whole bunch of stuff. Granny had a couple bottles of wine stashed in her bedroom, so between the two of us, we managed to come up with a pretty decent Christmas meal. After the meal, we went out into the living room where the chairs were more comfortable. I had to take a pee, so I excused myself and I went down to the bathroom. And that's when things took a turn for the worse. Inside the bathroom, lined up against the wall, about 6, 7 cameras. 8mm cameras, all brand new, still in their boxes. Now, I haven't stolen a thing in my life, much less ever taken a picture. But right there, at that moment, I decided that I had to have one of those cameras for myself. So after I was finished, grabbed one of the cameras, and I went back out into the living room. Granny had fallen asleep. Too many glasses of Chianti, I suppose. I went into the kitchen, I cleaned all the dishes. She slept through the whole racket. I picked up the camera. I put down her grandson's wallet. And I left. Didn't leave a note, seeing she was blind and all. I don't want to wake her up, so I never said goodbye. And that's the story.